So let's review over our notes. Go ahead and you can warm. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, get your back warmed up, okay? All right. Right, so the things that we worked on, right? Keeping more centered around your turn, not swaying so much. Also, we had an issue with casting the club a little bit, releasing the club a little bit earlier. And we worked on closing the club face a little bit to kind of help square up that face and get it back onto the target. One of the thoughts that we had was having more of the right palm a little bit down on the takeaway, right? And not, your big issue is that as you take the club back, you open up the face extremely. So we don't want to, we do want to have the face kind of move and open a little bit, but we don't want it so open, right? So keeping it a little bit more square through, okay? Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. I'll let you kind of warm up and we'll go from there. What games did you guys play over there at Top Golf? Did you guys just
was just the classic, and one that I think if you just drive it as far as you can, you can score a lot. And then there's the other one where you actually have to be precise. That one's a little more competitive.
A little bit more challenging there?
Yeah.
Good. Just let yourself warm up here today. So what you got on tap this weekend? Anything?
Wedding.
Oh, a wedding. Where at?
I think it's in Dade City.
Okay. Up there, don't they have like a couple
Yeah, they have a couple. I don't know which one.
wedding venues up in that area? Okay. See, wedding barns are the big thing now.
Yeah, I know there's a couple around here too that are pretty nice with like on the like a lake or something.
Didn't know if you were going to be hitting the children's Gasparilla party tomorrow.
Nah, I've done that a couple of times, but I feel like I'm getting too old for that stuff. Are you going?
No.
You got any plans?
We're going to go hit, we're going to go, since it is the Gasparilla Kids Festival, it's a mess down there in downtown Tampa, so my wife usually takes that day off from working for nurse, where she schedules that off, and then you know, we either go to it or we go out to Orlando. So we're gonna go hit Epcot tomorrow.
Nice. Be fun.
Is that hit Saturday and what? Do me one little favor here, just move it up in your stance just a smidge, okay? Just a little bit more forward in our stance, just a bit, okay? So I want you to go this way. Yep. Thank you. Starting to warm up a little bit now?
Yeah, trying to not overthink it too much.
I gotcha. Okay, good swing right there. All right, let's take a look. Good job right there. Good work. All right, let's take a look face on here and take a look. Okay, so I think we're still fighting a little bit of that issue of center turning around our center. Okay, so let's just kind of watch our back hip here as we kind of go. You can see there's like a little object or something back there in the background. Okay, see how that disappears?
Yeah.
Okay, so that tells me that we're swaying off the ball a little bit still. Okay, I can see that we're getting a little bit of a lift here, okay, as we come through. Okay, so let me kind of show you a few things. And you got belt loops, which is really good, so I can kind of help you a little bit easier today. All right, so let me just kind of, I still want to kind of work on this centerness of turn. That's the big thing, and then we need to kind of get into a few of the other things. But we need to kind of maybe get a little bit different understanding of it. Sound good? So if you kind of jump on over here, I'm going to jump on in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these little alignment sticks, one right here where my belt loop is, right? And the other one here, okay? So if we look at you in the video, right, if you kind of see, if you watch these two things, this is kind of more how you'd be turning. Okay, you see where these two alignment sticks are? Okay, you see how much distance and gap there is here? Okay, we don't want to see that. We want to get that a lot closer, okay? So you can see this back over here is a lot closer, right? So when I do this, right, these are a lot closer than these, right? Okay, so we want to reverse that, okay? So I want to try to get these two things closer together as I turn. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so getting more of this down, you see how those are down? Okay, that's going to help keep us turning back behind that. Okay, but once I start to do this, I can allow my right side to go off. Does that make sense? Okay, so we want to kind of get in here and then just try to feel like both of these things, we're trying to make like an acute angle over here. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is going to keep us in posture. It's going to get rid of this lift that we have. Okay, but then you're going to start to figure out, hey, this is here, and then the other part, what we do is now that we've got this kind of closer together, then we need to get this closer together. Does that make sense? So keeping our shoulder plane in where it needs to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So once we get done doing this and you get a good understanding about that, I'm going to put you up against the wall with a ball, and you're going to have to try to keep it in there a little bit, and I'll show you how that goes so we get a different feel. Or just, okay, good. Yeah, better, slow. Good. Right, there you go, okay. So as we go, good. Yeah. Right, do you feel your right hip moving back behind you now?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I've been doing this at home, but I feel like once I get the club in my hand, it just goes up the wall.
Right, yeah. That's one of those things that, you know, you just got to do it so many times that it just becomes absolutely mind-numbing. Just be patient with yourself there. The more you can kind of do this a little bit, it's going to start shining through. It just, you got to understand, for those guys that are really, really good, it took them a long time to get to these positions. Okay. better, but I can still see that hip kind of going this way. Okay. So I think we're starting to get that a little bit. How does that feel as far as what we're trying to do there, as far as what I'm trying to explain, right? You feel the
Yeah, I feel like my foot, my leg, and my core there.
right, and you feel the shoulder going more down, right, than what you're
Right.
used to, right? So once again, as we kind of take a look at the video here, right? Right, you can see that your shoulders are really turning up, right? So now they're a lot more down towards, keeping our shaft angle, keeping our swing plane towards our ball. Good. All right. And you just got to be patient with yourself. This is a whole new movement pattern. It takes time, right? So you just got to kind of practice it. And the more we do it, you're going to get more flexible in these situations, and you're going to get that neural pattern that we're looking for. There you go. Good. Give me a little bit more waist bend. Yeah, there you go. Better. Okay, better. Okay, good. All right, chest over the ball, right? There you go. All right. There you go. Do you feel how much more loaded up you're getting now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do that a couple more times for me, please. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of a different drill to kind of keep you in place. So, do you see the benefit of that drill right there that we're trying to do right there? Trying to keep those tilt and turns and not trying to turn up and stuff like this. It's going to be a lot easier for us to deliver that club back down there if I'm swinging on the plane that I need to and not kind of turning up and then trying to turn down and turn back up. Does that make sense? Okay, we'll take that out of here. All right, so with that being said, okay, and some of that understanding being said, okay, what we're going to do, another drill that we want to kind of work on for this, okay, is we put a ball right here against our left hip against the wall, okay, and what we want to have happen is we want to maintain pressure on this ball as we turn, okay. If I were to slide, see how that ball drops, okay. So this will start to get your hips more centralized to what we're trying to do. Get an awareness of where it is, right? So once I get right here, okay, just like this, and as I turn, okay, you can see that ball kind of rolls to my rear, back over here, okay? And what that now I really have to turn around my center as I go. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions right there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just put your arms across your chest, okay? Yeah, there you go, Dominic, good. Okay, now does that feeling that we just did before with the shoulders and everything relate to what we're doing now? Okay, I just want to make sure. What do you kind of notice about what we're working on here? What's one of the big things that you can kind of notice?
It's more just how it feels like in my core, so. And I'm more centered.
More centered, but what we really have is a lot more lateral side bend as we're turning, right? You feel that on your side, right? We're not just kind of turning up, right? We're still turning towards the ground a little bit. Does that make sense? Right? And you should feel that in your obliques and abdomen, right? Good. And I'm sure you can feel yourself loading into the ground, pushing into the ground when we do this, right? Okay? That's where you're going to generate a lot of your power right there. Okay? Obviously, a lot of it's going to come from our arms and hands, yes, but we want to make sure that we're getting that engine moving in the right spot to deliver that power. Does that make sense? Good. And don't worry about how far or degree of rotation of turn right now, okay? That will start to come as we start to develop our swing a little bit. But right now, we just want to kind of move where we can, okay? And those things will start to stretch out over time. Kind of do this here real quick. Let you turn up to the top real quick. And let's just go ahead and turn. Go ahead and turn. No, keep your, there. Kind of give you a little bit of a feel. Yep. Let's put our arms out. Yep, there we go. Straighten it out just a little bit. There you go. Okay. Much more where we need to kind of be. Does that make sense? I just wanted to kind of piece it together a little bit so you can kind of see and feel it a little bit. Okay, that's much more where we want to kind of be right there. Okay, now you can deliver that ball, right? See how we can maintain that angle, right? Now I can, right? But once I start to move away from it, right, and that ball goes away, then a lot of stuff starts to break down for us, okay? Because we have to start making some kind of manipulation. Okay, so just give yourself a chance there. Try to, yeah. Okay? Right? Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Good. All right, you see how that thing returns right back to where it started? Yeah. Right? It's pretty easy to get that thing, or somewhat easy, right? Let's say it's, you know, walk in the park, there's some work that has to be done, right? Good. So there we go. Set up for me. Good. Good. There you go. All right. Feel where you're at right there? Yeah. Back. Okay. One more time here. All right, let's take a break for just a second. How does that feel? Can you give me a...
I mean, feels.
You feel it, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel it. Yeah.
Totally different than what we're doing with our normal swing, right? So, you know, that's the first part of it, right? You know, we need to understand what our body kind of needs to do through time and space a little bit and where we need to kind of move. And then once we start to get that pattern down, then we really want to start taking the club and working with it. Does that make sense? But right now we're probably more in the time of just turning a little bit and working on that and then just hitting small little shots over here. So take a break, grab a little water real quick please, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hit about 10 balls, okay? And we're just going to try to harness that feel that we're working on. I don't care about where it goes, I do, but I want us to kind of work on making sure that we're turning around our center, and then we'll start working on whatever the next issue is that we need to go. Does that make sense, big guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Good. Try to keep that left shoulder down, right? We're not trying to hit big shots, we're just trying to hit small shots right now, okay? Good. Better. How did that one feel for you?
Felt like I got the right motion.
Okay,
for the most
good.
part.
It's not perfect, and I'll be honest with you, but it's getting a lot better. Okay, I'm starting to see that we're starting to go there. You're still kind of moving just a little bit off of it, but we got to be patient with ourselves, okay? Good. Good work. Much better. Good. Give me one more here, or give me a couple more here. We're going to videotape that. Or contact on that one, right? So let's take a look, okay? Doing better with the shoulders, okay? It's pointing more down, okay? We got to kind of feel like we're turning inside that barrel a little bit. And that base is still a little open on the takeaway. Yeah. Kind of face is opening up just a little bit. You see where your right palm is?
Yeah.
See how I can kind of see it? Okay. So, all right, so making sure that we get our hip turning back behind us. Okay. The other part here. Go ahead, set up for me, big guy. Good. Good. So as we kind of come back, all right, feeling like the right palm's just a little bit more. We don't want it down like that, but right there, okay? Make it feel like it's kind of pointing right there. So this is going to be like at about a 45 degree, okay? We can kind of see that it starts to open up a little bit for us. Okay, so once again, this. Okay, good. Okay, feel that? Good. Once again. Good. Okay. So that's going to keep that face square for us a little bit. Okay. Now, as we kind of come back, right, I want to feel like there's an electrical pole right here, right? Turn your hip against that, right? No, no, no. Yeah, get away from it. There you go, better. That's kind of more of the motion that we kind of need right there. Does that make sense? Good. 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 Up. That face a little bit for us, okay? Good, I can see that sway's coming back a little bit, okay? Get that hip turned back behind us a little bit, okay? There you go, better. clean these up real quick. How's that feeling for you, buddy?
Getting there. Yeah, I feel it, but I can tell it's not where you want it.
It's not natural yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's why we want to make sure that we're doing our drills, okay? Making sure that we're in a mirror doing those, right? Or in a camera, making sure that we're doing it correctly. And just making sure that we're holding ourselves to a high standard.
Right.
But the big thing is, at least what I'm starting to see now is I'm starting to see more of what we've got going down the line here instead of over to the right and over to the left. Okay, so that's telling me that we're not perfect yet. I get that, right? But it's telling me that we're getting less of this and more of this turn. Okay, and it just takes time. The more you do it, the better you're going to get, right? Anything. Okay, good work. You're doing great. You know, the big goals for us right now and where we're at in our learning development is getting our body movements a little bit better and then getting my cone and miss more here than out over here, right? And that, not that that's perfect, but let's put it this way. You're still going to be able to find that ball and play that ball. And that's important, right? That's very important with the game of golf. Are you actually in the wedding?
No,
No, just attending?
just attending there.
Give me one more here, big guy. So one thing I'd like to kind of see, at least with our setup here a little bit, go ahead and set up. Okay, just a little bit, right? Okay, good. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see this shoulder a little bit closer. So I'd like to see your chest a little bit more close to the target. Does that make sense? So I'd like to see more. There you go. Okay, does that make sense? Now the other thing I'd like to kind of see here is I want to make sure, take this guy off, this guy, right? This guy's going to be over top. Okay, you feel where that pad's over top right there? Okay, don't get him in the palm here. Okay, then we can't release that club correctly. Okay, so here we go. Let it go. Okay, so there you go. Get that pad over top. There you go. Much better. Okay, now you can release that club correctly. Okay. Good. Got a better chance of turning that face through impact. Yeah, there you go. Let's hit a few, okay? How does that feel as far as what I did with your grip? You feel what we're doing? More in the fingers,
Yeah.
less in the palm, okay? I want you to feel it more in your fingers though. All we're trying to do there with your shoulders is just square them up a little bit. If we have them open, then my path's going to be more over the top. If I have them just square, maybe a little closed, then I get more of a chance to get to the inside part of the path. Does that make sense?
Like this.
So here, let's kind of do a few things here, right? So set up for me. Okay. So this shoulder needs to come down just a little bit. There you go. Good. Good. Okay. We're feeling up, right? It's going to be. There you go. Very good. Okay. Now, here's the big guy. Okay. Here's the other guy. This guy, the left toe needs to be on the line. Right toe needs to be off the line. There you go. You see how we switched our body position here?
Yeah.
So now we've got a much better chance of getting to the inside part of the ball, which will help us to draw the ball. Okay. Good. Very good. Okay. Good. So, let's do one more drill. Okay. One more thing to kind of work on. Just all right, so we'll put this bag on in here. Okay, set on up for me. Okay, what we're doing. Good. Good. All right. And what we're going to kind of work on, once again, is getting the toe of the club into the bag just after impact. Does that make sense? All right, so we're going to try to get that in there. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So, I'm not trying to kill the bag, okay, but what we're really going to feel is our forearms rotating through impact, okay? Good. Give them a go. Good. Again. Toe into the back. Help you out here just for a sec. Give you a good feel. All right, so here we go. Set. Good. Good. So as we're coming down here. All right, feel that? Okay. Good. Go. Again. Good. Kind of move it out here just a little bit. Okay. Toe into the back. Now you see how you went left? Okay, we want to hit that bag. That tells me that's an over-the-top move. Okay, big guy? Okay, good. Yeah, better. Okay, better. We're getting there. Good. Feel your forearms rotating there? Okay, toe into the back for me, probably. Now you see how it's glancing off? Okay, watch me real quick. Let me jump on in there, okay? What we want to kind of see is you can kind of see as you're kind of doing this, you're kind of like this. You see how the weight's still back over here, okay? What this is going to help us do is two things, right? One, it should help me feel what my forearms are going to be doing through impact, and the other is if I do this correctly and swing out, there's no other option except for my weight to go, okay? I shouldn't be doing this. Does that make sense? Okay, big guy, so watch me as I kind of go here. It's just going to be kind of like this. I'm going to swing out and get that toe into the back. So it's here. See where I'm at in position here? See how that leg's going down the target line as I come through? We can see with you as you come on in here, you're getting the toe into the bag, but this right foot staying down. Okay, so that's part of what we need to do to kind of get our lower body committed to what we're doing. Okay, does that make sense, big guy? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Not so hard. There you go. Much better. Yes. Yes. Good work. Okay. A little bit of an early release there, you can tell. Good. All right. Now, let's try this. I'm going to have you hit 4 balls. Okay. And all we're going to focus on is getting that toe into the back. Okay. And what I'm hoping to see is I'm going to start seeing some low left shots. Okay. Let's not be upset about that. Okay. And then we need to kind of figure out, okay, I've figured out how to get the thing to go left. How do I start to dial it back? Okay. This is an over-exaggeration drill. Okay. Okay, but I've got to have you see it go left, feel it go left to know you can do it, right? Okay, good. Okay, not so quick. Just toe in the back. Here we go. Better. Okay. See how we got that thing to go left there. Good. How'd that one feel for you?
A little better.
Okay. Got that one to go left, didn't you? Good job. Okay. So just a little bit less than that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions, big guy? Just get a little bit of some more face rotation, okay? Here, let me try to do something here real quick. Put your hands on the glove. Yeah, great. Okay, up here. Okay. So this is kind of more of the feeling that we need to kind of have. Okay. Feel that? Okay. Just trying to give you a little bit of a feel. There we go. Okay. It's okay. There we go. Much better. How did that one feel for you? Okay. As far as being on the target, that's really good. Big guy, let's take a look at the analyzation here. How's it feeling? What questions do you have for me? Talk to me.
So it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going.
So here, let me hit one for you, okay? Kind of watch me real quick.
Go and say.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Here, I'm just grab this guy. All right. So as I go, watch what my club face does. I get here, here, right, and then as I release, the toe's going to be hanging more towards the left. Do you see that? Okay. So one of the things you can kind of do to really work on your face rotation as far as like mini swings is I'd get to about right here. Okay, and then what I want to kind of do is I want to try to match that same look over on the other side. Does that make sense? Okay, so here, here, okay, you can see where my toe is, right? Okay, once again, okay. And I'm just going to kind of get it here, and then I'm just going to try to turn on through a little bit, okay? Try to get a feel for that. Okay, does that make sense a little bit? All right. Let's take a look at the analyzation here of what we got. Okay, so, all right, so still the big thing that they see is stay centered. So we've got to keep working on that, okay? Shifting to your lead side, I think if we can stay centered, that kind of clears itself up. Maintaining posture. I think the more that you can kind of do that drill where we did that, that's going to help you stay in posture. We can still see that as you turn, you start to lift up a little bit, okay? Be patient with yourself, it takes time, okay? We're still casting a little bit, okay? So that's definitely got to be that butt of that club driving back down towards that ball, trying to maintain that angle until we get just about to our right thigh, and then we start to release, okay? I don't know what this one is. Get your body more open at impact. Okay. Okay. So we need to get a little bit more turn through what we're trying to do. Does that make sense? So what it's telling us, okay, number one, right, if I can more or less stay centered around my turn, it should be easier for you to want to shift to our lead side, okay? And then as I shift to my lead side, it should be able for me to turn through a lot easier, okay? Now the other part is we got to work on the casting a little bit, okay? So let's touch on that before we break, okay? Any questions about what we saw right there, Dominic? No. Okay. And did you get any of the emails that I sent about this?
What email? I don't think so. What email are you sending it to?
Whatever one you had on
sign up?
that you signed up on. I'm not sure if that's one that you look at regularly.
Yeah, it should be. I get the notification whenever I book an appointment.
Okay. So All right, I'll resend that to you maybe, but it's a little program that kind of comes through for you, and you can kind of work on it at your leisure. We can kind of work through the app a little bit, which is kind of cool. But you know, those are the things that we want to kind of work on. So let's talk about the casting here real quick that I talked about here. Okay, so set up for me again. Good. All right. So as we go, good. So one thing I want to kind of see here, right when we get about here, give yourself a little, start to get your hands up, okay, or get your club up, okay. We want to try to get control of the club as about soon as possible, okay. So as my instructor would always tell me, okay, is that by the time my hands get just over my right foot or just past it, okay, I should have a little bit of some elevation in the shaft right here, okay? I don't want to be doing this. You see where I'm at here? Okay, so I want to be kind of more here. So when I get on up to the top, you see how I've got a nice angle set right here, or wrist set right here? I want to try to maintain that wrist set and drive that angle back down to the point where I really can't hold it anymore, and then I got to release it. Does that make sense? Okay? So go ahead and set up. So here we go. So as we come go, right, boom, right, and then we want to start. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Feel that wrist set that I've got for you? Now if I can get you up to the top, good. Maintaining that wrist set or that back part of that hand, feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Driving it back down. And now, right here, we want to release the toe goes over. I want that knee going more down the target line. Yes, yes. You see that? That's going to get you more open. Okay, if that foot stays down there, you're going to stay closed like it said. Okay, here we go once again. All right. Chop, right? And then see how we got a nice set. Don't lift. Okay, see how you're lifting there? Okay. All right, so here, right? Keep your chest over that ball. Yeah, much better. Okay, we don't want to pop up. Okay, now that you've got a nice wrist set, going to drive that butt of the club down. Feel that? Boom. Right on through. Yes, yes, I like that. Very good. Okay, give me a practice swing with that. Okay. And keep your chest over the ball. Yes, much better. Chest over the ball. Good work. Yeah. See how you're getting back down to contact a lot more consistently? Yeah. Chest over the ball, please. Good. You don't need to get so long. Give me another one and feel like it's 3/4, okay? Yes. That's where we need to live, okay? We don't need to be full swing right yet. Mm-hmm. Good. All right, let's hit a few balls here. Any questions of what we're working on, Dominic? Why don't you grab some water real quick? There's a couple swings there. All right, give yourself a little bit of a break, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we're going to do 7, okay? Any questions what we're working on? Okay, I'll let you sew it together a little bit. Chest over the ball. Okay. Better job with the turn there a little bit. Good job. Good. Did you feel yourself get to your lead side on that one?
Yeah, just if I just have to really force myself to.
Yeah, really good work right there. I liked how you got through that. Okay. Take a little break here, okay? You working this afternoon?
Yeah. I don't know how much, but definitely have a couple hours left to do.
Gotcha.
Need to start taking Fridays off or something. Just enjoy life a little more.
There you go. Have you gotten yourself into like a golf league or anything like that, or a men's league or anything?
Not yet. I figure I'm not there yet. I'm gonna give myself like a year just to get better at it and then start doing stuff like that.
You know, a great thing to kind of do to kind of, one, network, two, just to kind of get out there a little bit, is that some places play like scrambles on a Friday or something like that. That might be a great way for you, one, to kind of meet people out there on the course, obviously. But you can kind of work on your game, and it's not all about you, if that makes sense, right? You can kind of go on up there, and if you duff one, you got 3 other guys that are going to hit it, and and they're going to duff them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody, nobody that's playing in scrambles going on tour, right? But it's all about fun and enjoying the game, right?
Just practicing. Really.
Absolutely, practicing, conversating. All right, here we go. Do me a little bit of a favor. Get that left hand a little bit more on top for me, okay? All right. Feel it in the fingers. More on top. I want you to be able to see 2 knuckles on your left hand.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Much better. Much, much better. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Let's get that left hand on top. Come on, let's go. Left hand on top for me, please. All right, feel it in the fingers. Give me one more here, big guy, and let's talk about what we need to kind of work on, okay? Any questions right now? Good. Good. Okay, so in the world of what we're working on, right? So think about it. When we got to our first lesson here, everything was either over here or over there, right? We're starting to get our cone of miss more in this area right here, this general area. Okay, so that's improvement right there. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more going into the screen and doing what we're doing. So you're getting a little bit more control of the golf ball, what we're trying to do. Okay, big thing that we need to kind of work on is making sure that we're turning centrally around our spine and not sliding. Okay, so we gave you a couple drills, right? One with the alignment sticks inside the belt loop here and one across the shoulder. And try to, what I like to think about is try to make these two angles acute, okay? Or, down here. Boom, okay? Right now I'm not worried about the downswing per se with this motion, but I am worried about the backswing, okay? So here, right, and then kind of reset. Here, and then kind of reset. Get used to that feeling of this right side really retracting back, right, as I go. It's not this, right? It's definitely more of this, okay? Now, the other thing that we kind of worked on here just a bit to kind of help you out, all right? Get like a little kid's ball, I'm sure. You got a 4-year-old? I got a 4-year-old. I took it from her, as you can see. Oh, this isn't the bluey one. There's a bluey one that we have at the house too. But get your rear end or get your hip up against the wall. Put this ball right here, okay? Arms across her chest, okay? And then all I want us to do is just make slow, subtle turns and feel that and hold it, okay? Again, okay? I would do this for, as I said, 10, 15 minutes a night if you can. Work on getting that feel, and then try to, I wouldn't say we need to hit a club or hit a ball, but get a club in our hand and go, okay, that's it. And I would just take it up to about halfway, or right here about rib height, and just get a feel for what I'm trying to do, okay? If I can't get the feel right here, I'm definitely not going to get the feel way up over here. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. The other thing that we talked about was your casting, right? We want to make sure that we feel like that lead angle or that trail wrist is really holding that angle as I come on down here. The other thing that we've talked about is putting a tee in the butt of the club and driving that tee back down towards the ball, okay? One of the other things that's going to help with that is making sure that we get our wrist set in the right spot. So once our hands get past about right where our right foot is, we really want to start elevating that club up so we start getting control of the weight, okay, instead of the weight controlling us, okay? And the other thing that we kind of worked on, I think was kind of important for us, is getting that left hand more on top, more dominating the backswing, okay? It's going to dominate the swing. The left hand is dominating the whole thing. But if I can get that left hand more on top where you can at least